Hey folks, here's the standard update. There have been some changes, both in plants growth and in design or arrangement. Here's the peninsula with some fuzzing at the edges. The caladium Hilo Beauty is doing very well. 3 plantlets from 1 tuber. Here is the Jacqueline, and there is its new leaf, brand new. Still has to position and expand and then harden, and I don't know if it's going to get much taller or not. I've never had one of these before, so I don't know what the exact growth pattern is, but we'll see, as things go along. Here is the Dragon's Breath, the heterophylla, and I'm still waiting for it to wake up, which it hasn't done yet. It's just taking its own sweet time, but it's certainly more than welcome to. There is the Ivory Coast alocasia with new foliage poking out right there. Getting ready to get pushed upwards, I think. And we'll see what happens with that in the upcoming days. I really like the Dieffenbachia Vesuvius, this puppy right here. Took very well to its new environs. Here's a new leaf coming out. Look at the amount of white, the creamy white on all of these new leaves. I like it. It likes my light. And here, of course, is the Silver Aglaonema, doing okay. Its leaves are coming out a little bit smaller than I'd like, but again, transitioning, the splitting with the propagation and all of that stuff, it takes a while sometimes to recover. Most of the coleus are looking nice. This one's beginning to bounce back, that black dragon. One of the black dragons melted away, but there is growth in the central stem. It did lose some of its lower leaves. So, they got soggy. They hit the sphagnum, and between the vascular collapse and all the wet, they melted. But there is hope. There is still growth right down there, so we'll see what happens. This is another stem, and it's on its way back now. So fingers crossed. There is the mystery Alocasiacorum right there. Center screen. Off center in the pot, but center screen. I have no idea what it's greening up, but I have no idea what it is or what it's going to be. We'll see. If it's a dragon's breath, there's every chance that it will overtake that one if it sprouts soon. The Alocasia caprea is just stunning. This is the larger of the 2 leaves, and I think this leaf came out from the main stem, the main trunk, and this leaf is what came out of the branching trunk. That's the first leaf off of the branch. I think that's what's happening. I'm not entirely sure, and there is a new leaf on the way that appears to be coming from the same growth point as this leaf. So in theory it should be bigger, or at least the same size as this leaf, but definitely bigger than either of these 2 leaves. This is the leaf that came out right before either of these came out. And again, this leaf, I helped it along. It was trying to drag itself over the petiole of the big honker leaf, so I just helped it. I just, slid it over. And now this one is beginning to slowly drop down next to and behind the big honker. So yeah, we're going to have some major upsizing going on. The only thing that isn't upsizing really, and this has been the case from the get-go, is the mother plant right here. She's always been this scrawny little thing, It's small leaves on long petioles. But I'm not going to complain. I don't know if it was just maybe some damage that the plant incurred that's preventing it from doing, the maximum thing for some goofy reason. I have no idea. But she's got good genetics. I mean, I got that, and I got those 2 down there. So I'm not complaining. Here is the epipremnum doing its thing very nicely. This plant is going to get moved. Here is the marble pothos. This plant might get moved. Here is the gigas. Remember that kids game, Barrel Full of Monkeys? Daisy chain. What can I say, folks? 3 leaves stuck together. I might actually try to pull one out later on today. We'll see. I'm sorely tempted. I really am. Okay. Here is the verrucosum. The back lobes are almost completely separated now off of the petiole, as you can see. And I think the leaf has already begun slightly to begin the unwrap process. But yeah, the entire leaf is now out from the caterpillar, and it's beginning to tilt. Where am I here? It's beginning to tilt. This was vertical, and this tip is now leaning forward away from the wall towards us, as you can see, and the back lobes are now rising up in the back off of the petiole. And the right over here, you can see where the leaf gets a little bit kind of goofy. Right around, I want to say, here. That's where the attachment point is to the petiole. I'm 99% certain. I think it's going to be a nice size leaf. I really do. I think it's going to give the largest one that it came with a run for its money. It's certainly going to be almost that size at least, just when it opens up. I don't know how much bigger it's going to expand, but it looks absolutely perfect, guys. Look at that. And you can also see the new stem right behind it, with its little bent tip already continuing on its merry way. So yeah, I'm excellent signage. And what can I say? Very happy to see what I'm seeing there. Very, very happy. And again, this is, shit happens. But, this plant, just to drive a particular point home, this plant was the most professionally packed plant I have received since dealing with everybody last year. There were a few close seconds, but this was the best packed. And look what still happened to it, to the leaf that was, developing and pushing out while it was in transit. Look at that. Okay, that should have come out like this, in a perfect world. Okay, moving along because my battery is low, and I don't want to dwell too long on any of that. The gloriosums are doing really, really well. Leaves are popping up on the ground all over the place, little small-ish leaves, larger than what I thought they would be. And in addition to this quartet of leaves, which all belong to one stem in the back, the front stem has got a new leaf as well. There's that one right there. Wait, no, sorry, that one. That belongs to the back plant. This leaf right here belongs to this front piece, this little stem right here in the front. It has this leaf, and it has now that leaf, which is a little bit bigger than that leaf. And it's growing directly towards us. So it's going to hit the side and then make a turn, right or left. I don't care. But this entire little planter is going to be filling in really nicely by the end of June. It should be looking swell. I hope within a week or two. These 2 leaves finally decide to open, and I don't know why they're not. This one gave a little bit of movement, There you go, kablat, and then nothing. So I don't know what to do. I'll spritz them down with water tonight and see if that makes a difference. I'll try that too with the gigas before I go yanking them apart. But yeah, at any rate, all of the small alocasias are doing very, very well. The Micolitiana has started to move. 3 new leaves, 1 for each corm or offshoot. That's the main plant, the original tuber. This is a side offshoot, and this is a remote corm offshoot. The same deal like with the Islanii. This Islanii has 2 remote corms. that's already begun to leaf out. That's already leafed out, and this now is where it's working on leafing out. And this I might have damaged. This leaf here, the older leaf, was on the other side. The new leaf had grown into the space between these two leaves on the other side of that petiole, and I didn't want that to happen. So I lifted up the leaf and the petiole and forced it down to the other side of this newly emerging leaf. So it might have a little bit of rubbity damage at one point or another, but again, the leaf after it will be absolutely fine. And again, it's one of 3 corms now, so it was worth for me to take it. It would have been less problems. It's less problems now than it would have been had I let it continue to grow up between the 2 leaves, I think. So, at any rate, that's what I wanted to do. So, we're back here now to the verrucosum. Look at that. Ain't that cool? Look at that. Peppermint striping, folks. That's like a rosy red right now. The backs of the leaves of the verrucosum get really pretty with quite a bit of red. Here is the gigas. It'll be due for a extension in the upcoming days. Here is the melanochrysum with a new leaf coming out. This was not grown here, but I will take it if it's healthy, and it appears to be. We'll see how the plant begins to position the leaves as they come out in the near future. I'm really curious to see if this one remains pointing up or if it drops down. All the leaves, as the plants get properly oriented, they should come out facing forward and then drop down, more or less. They shouldn't really open in that orientation. You know, the gigas does all of that, but while it's still rolled up, it does all of its, swinging around that way, and then floop. So yeah, that's what the melanochrysum should do the same thing, I think. Here's the neon pothos. Been watching this unroll all day long. This is also going to be a decent sized leaf. They expand quite a bit after they come out. You'll see. Here is the soderoy, and you can see that it's the new leaf that came out that was developing in transit. Kaputski. So here we have the new one coming out immediately after it, and that should be absolutely fine. And that'll be this plant's acclimation hump. Here is the baby majestic doing great. The other gigas is doing great. I did have to do quite a bit of reshuffling here because I had to move this rattlesnake away from the wall, which meant moving everything else. I had to move the Dieffenbachia further away because it was where the coleus was now too close to the rattlesnake. Yada yada yada. Long story short, the goeppertia medallion is now here instead of the table, and I think I like this little arrangement here. The goeppertia, and then right below it, the Scindapsus pictus with the begindas on either side, and then just the regular blending of the stuff that was here already, all of which is now going to get more light. So that's good news. Here, here we have the Dufceci gigas, but down here we have the baby silver sword, first leaf after cutting and transport, and the new one already on the way. And this thing should just now fire one after the other, boom, 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 and each one should be bigger than the previous. They upsize quite nicely. Here is the pink princess with the 3 shoots, already beginning to leaf out, 1 and 2, and the third one is maybe a week behind. Jungle Boogie with the now closed flower. Then again, the goeppertia medallion and its a little entourage on the floor there that really nicely hide the pot of the goeppertia and fill in the space underneath its leaves. That's why I put them there. They're also low light. So, and here is the celloum corner. So from the celloum corner with the spider plants and the Adansonii all the way around now. It's contiguous plants. 2 walls all the way. Things have progressed. Okay, folks, I'm going to stop right here on the alocasia cuprea, and look at that. Will you look at that? Come on, look at that. Have fun.